everybody. Welcome to T.O.'s Roadhouse. So good to have y'all in the house. Been looking forward to sitting down with this man. My friend Justin Moore is in the house.
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud.
You look great.
Thank you, man. So good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, bud.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Yeah.
And let's kind of, we've got sports to talk about. We got music to talk about. But let's kind of go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I know you've had some health issues and things going on in your life. And I've been watching some of the live footage lately. I know you've been out with Riley and everything, and you're just coming off of a 30-day rehabilitation stint. So what was going on that led you to feel like you were at a place where you desperately needed to take some time and step back?
Yeah. So I guess right at a year ago, probably. I'm terrible to you. Like, I hadn't gone to the doctor up until last year, like right now, in probably 10 years. I hadn't went to the dentist. I know I sound disgusting to everybody out there right now, but I just, my grandfathers greatly influenced me, and they were the type that it's like if a limb's hanging off and you're working, you just kind of tape it back up and go for it.
Yeah.
And so I was the same way, but to go back a little bit, man, I didn't drink until I was 21. Don't ask me how or why. And then almost 20 years and never had any issue whatsoever. And then COVID hit, and we were doing our podcast at the time, and literally nothing else. And man, idle hands or the devil's workshop is a real thing. And a drink at 5 turned into 3 and noon, and then before you know it, it's all day, every day, and not even really getting smashed or just constantly having a cocktail. And then, it started affecting my life, and just like everybody else, you think, oh, nobody knows. I'm hiding this. I'm good. I'm functioning, high functioning. And I was to an extent, and then, once a month or whatever, I'd have a show that you try to get that mixture just right, and when you do, it's great. But, the times you don't, it's, you look back and you go, oh, I don't even want to see that video. That kind of deal. And I just kind of looked at myself in the mirror, and I go, the last year in particular, maybe 2 years, I just noticed that I was putting so much energy into drinking and all that kind of stuff that it was taking away from not only my professionalism, but my family, most importantly, church, that kind of stuff. And so I came home one Sunday, as we do every Sunday, usually on the bus and get off and see y'all next week. And I walked straight upstairs, told my wife, I got to go get help. I just got to do it. I have to do it. And it wasn't fun. I mean, I don't know if you've ever done anything like that, but but it wasn't fun. But I just looked at it like a business trip, and and so today's my 65th day sober. So I feel good, man. I feel like myself for the first time in a while, and I'm actually proud of myself for the first time in a while, which maybe sounds weird, but
no, this business functions a lot around alcohol. Every number one party, everything that we do, all the events backstage, and we typically, from the outside looking in, everybody comes to us when they got a day or a weekend off to come party. We're the central focus of that party situation, and it almost becomes expected for us to engage in that type of activity.
Yep.
And it's all fun and games when you're young, but there comes a time as we get older when you got to step back and go, this is not really good for me as a human being anymore.
No.
And did you find yourself having to separate from certain people in your life too, or was that part of this too?
No.
Because a lot of times it is.
Yeah, no. Maybe I would have answered that differently if I'd have done this when I was 25 instead of 42. But now, I mean, everybody grew up except me. I was hanging on by a thread, buddy. And so, my band and crew, I mean, they have a drink here or there, but you know them well.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
they're all,
well, we've
none
toured
of them are
together and we were out
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
I never saw. I drank a lot more just 5, 6 years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
I barely. I mean, I have a couple of glasses of wine at the end of the night, but I don't
Yeah.
drink during the day. I stopped even drinking on the golf course or any of it. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
I just made a lot of lifestyle changes too.
Yeah.
I had to do a little stint, a few years back, and a lot of mine stemmed from a lot of early stuff, some anger issues and just stuff. I went to a treatment facility outside of Nashville here, and the I would like to compare notes a little bit. What they had me do was they would put this big white paper up on the wall, and we drew a line down the center of it, and we went back to my earliest memories, and we started doing positive and negative memories of the earliest things that I remembered, and went through peaks and valleys of relationships, trauma with my stepfather, and all these things that just kind of roller coastered through. And it was awful.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, freaking awful. Just the emotional roller coaster and the purging of all that stuff. And because you get to a certain place in life where you're dealing with some things and you've got these issues and you're masking them. Sometimes it's so far buried back that you don't even remember why you started.
And
in
you
the
don't
first
even
place.
know.
You don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll try to therapy the hell out of you.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah. There's a balance in there too. I mean,
Yeah.
I made it very well known that I was not going to make a drastic lifestyle change, but I've kind of made that on my own as
Right.
I've gotten post from that and just kind of struggled through all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
but coming out of it, I mean, I'm telling you, the first time that I got on stage and I hadn't had a drink, it's a big adjustment when you've been doing it for a long time.
It's one of the first times ever that I've been nervous, I guess you would say, to
Yeah.
go on stage, because normally we're not nervous at all. Everybody goes, "You get nervous right before?" I'm sure you've heard that a
Oh, yeah.
million times. And I'm like, no, why would I get nervous? This is what I know how to do.
Yeah.
I suck at everything else. But yeah, it was an adjustment, man, for sure. And it's more mental than anything, and that may be an understatement. But man, I'm singing better. I remember the shows.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't constant with me. It was just that one night where you go, I didn't do my best, and these fans, man, they deserve our best, and I lost sight of that for a little while, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I mean, it is what it is. I said early in my career, I'm like, you take, for the majority of us, guys out of a little bitty town somewhere who ain't never been around anything like this, and just have anything and everything at your disposal, and all you don't even have to go get it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just tell somebody, "Hey, I want this or that." And I feel really lucky, man. I never experimented with drugs or anything like that. Thank God, because I would have liked them. I know me.
Oh yeah, believe me.
I mean,
I did.
and it was funny in rehab. You talk about comparing notes. There was a lot of the therapy stuff, and but fortunately, it was only once a week. But I mean, we it helped. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't. They want you to continue it after and this and that. And what I learned in there a lot about that whole type deal is it's not a one size fits all.
No,
Everybody in there is different. I made friends that I'll be friends with forever. I don't know if you experienced that, but or at least right now it feels that way. And everybody kind of has their own path and how they finish. They want you to go to 100 meetings in 100 days. Well, that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
I got 4 kids, this
And
job,
band members and crew people depending on you to get back to work.
Yeah.
And cash flow needs to got to be met
Exactly.
and all those other things.
Yeah.
And that compounds the pressure on you in a lot of ways. And the fact that you were able to say, I got to step back right now. That says a lot about your
I
character,
did,
brother.
TL, man. I knew I had to do something drastic for everybody else, so that they could see that I was making an effort, whether it's band and crew, family, friends, whatever. But I really needed, and I finally got to the point where I understood this, that I want to do this for me. I was approached by some great friends, about a year ago, actually, and I'm like, then I was respectful and listened and all that, and I'm like, screw off, like you leave me alone. I'm a grown man, I just wasn't ready, so I don't even know what prompted it. I just thought, man, I want to get healthy, and I've had some health issues, nothing life threatening, thankfully. I've got I don't know if you can see this on my neck.
Yeah.
I'm sure people think, golly, he's been eating good. But we thought it was called a lipoma.
It's
But
like a fatty cyst.
it's just fat. And I went in, it's benign, thank God. But and they told me it would be very, very difficult to do surgery, and it may affect my singing and even my speaking voice. And I'm like,
Any medication that they can use to dry it up or
no.
reduce it?
I can go get some more opinions, but no. And it's weird. It doesn't affect me. I just look like a linebacker circa 1982. Thick neck, whatever. But it's like my wife and I were walking out of the hospital when I had an MRI or something, and they had told us, man, great news is benign, but there's really not anything we can do about it. And I'm like, so I was kind of bummed out walking out of the hospital. And because at the time we didn't know it was cancer, we didn't know what it was, and of course your mind takes you to the worst possible places, obviously. And my wife looked at me, she goes, if you just have a fat neck and you're here for the next 50 years, then shut up and stop complaining. And I'm like, yeah, I've never sold records because of my looks in the first place.
Well, maybe we can come up with a name like George Jones was called the possum because he had beady little eyes. Maybe you can become the chipmunk or something.
So, yeah, exactly. I like it.
There you go.
But all that, some health stuff, blood pressure and just a bunch of different, things like that. And I go, what am I doing? I'm like, this is certainly not helping the situation. And so it was a multitude of things that kind of led me to, make that decision. But it's been great. Now my wife, and I say this half jokingly, but half serious, like, I'm going to still make her mad because that's what we do. But I know she can't reach in that bag that I always knew existed and go, well, if you wouldn't
have been doing this.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's almost liberating.
Yeah, and in the big scheme of things, man, number one, it's not cancerous.
Right.
You've dealt with your personal struggles that you had going on.
Yeah.
And in the big scheme of things, man, we got a lot more to be thankful about.
100%.
So I think the best thing to do is just focus on the positives.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I'm doing great. I feel great. It's situations like this that we realize that. I mean, you and I know each other really well. Yeah. For people out there listening, and you're one of my heroes, but somebody I consider a great friend. Situations like that really shine a light on the what's important in life. And I thought I knew that, and I did, but I kind of lost sight of it. And so yeah, I'm in a really good spot right now, and God willing, it'll continue.
I found through after my experience, the further down the path you go of kind of getting the demons and stuff out of the way, whatever those demons are for you. My wife and I, we barely have a crossword anymore.
Yeah.
We just navigate and we function in our household. She understands her role. I understand mine. We pick each other up when the other one's weak, and we very seldom have a crossword anymore.
Same.
And
it's
I
been a
looking
peaceful
back,
65 days.
Oh my God! Looking back, I realized that most of the issues that I had, jealousies, insecurities, anger, most of it was fueled by alcohol.
Yeah.
And certain types of alcohol affect that situation a lot different than other ones. That brown liquor is an evil thing.
Yeah.
And
100%.
when you start, the earlier in the day you start drinking that brown liquor, the more trouble you seem to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Like me and you could go drink, a case of beer apiece right now, and you'd never even know So it's funny now. It wasn't funny then, but when I went in to rehab, we had a crazy travel day. I went to a place out in Utah, and we had a crazy travel day, and we left on a Sunday morning super early, and we didn't get there till the Monday, early morning Monday, 3, 4 in the morning, whatever. And they gave me a breathalyzer, and of course I had been drinking all day, but I was totally sober. That's the crazy tolerance I had built up, which is I'm not bragging. I'm just pointing out the obvious. And the guy goes, "Whoa," and I go, "Was it good?" He goes, "I think it was like 0.38 or something." He's like, "I mean, normally we take people to the hospital," but he goes, "Why do you seem sober?" I'm like,
high tolerance.
"Yeah." I go, "I don't
When
know,
you drink
man."
every day, it's the way it is.
Yeah, which was scary in itself, but usually you stay in detox a while. I stayed that one night. They gave me something to sleep. I don't know. They might as well gave me a tranquilizer. I think I slept till 4 or 5 that evening, and then got on with the regular stuff. But yeah, it was good, man. It was a good experience. It was really for me less about what I learned, and it just reiterated what I knew, and I was just too chicken shit to admit it to myself,
And hopefully at this stage, what I've done, you can get back to being more the mentality that you had when you were a younger person and getting rid of all that negativity and crap out of your life. It makes a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
I've found it does.
Yeah, and I, you know, again, I like I told them in there, I'm like, because they dig, like you said, they try to find like what, and they couldn't with me. I'm like, a lot of times it's abuse in your childhood, or there's any number of reasons, and I'm like, nah, I had perfect parents. They're still married 50 years. Blah, blah, blah. They were awesome. Well, what about? I'm like, nah, and I'm like, honestly, guys, I just like to party. They're like, it's not big. I go, nah, I just like to party. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And so that I was, I guess, a unicorn in there to them, but no, it was a good experience, man. It really was. It was kind of for me. I told my wife when I came back, it was really just the act of going and doing it. It wasn't the information again that I was taught. I mean, you learn a little here and there, but all the stuff you know. And a good buddy of ours, both, I won't say, he wouldn't care, but he told me before I went in, I talked to him, and he's like, man, he goes, about 90% of it you're going to think's stupid, but just hang in there, He was spot on. But it was almost like old school shock therapy for me. Just the act of going and doing it, and if you want to say the embarrassment or whatever, however you want to describe it. And I'm not embarrassed. I mean, it is what it is. I did learn in there, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said about your character as a human being because you faced it, you dealt with it.
Yeah,
You
well,
moved on.
thanks, man.
There ain't nothing to be embarrassed about, man. We all have struggles in
I
life.
appreciate it,
That's what
buddy.
it's all about, man.
So, but yeah, glad to be on the other side of it for sure.
So we really got to know each other back, 2019, 2020. We actually toured together. We went out in January of 2020, and we started out. We rehearsed. Where was our initial rehearsals at? Because we got some ice and stuff that kind of kicked us right at the beginning.
Was it in Colorado?
No, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget.
Anyways, not really relevant, but we rocked on there pretty good, and our friend Lainey Wilson was opening up for us with her and an acoustic guitar.
I forgot about that.
And
right.
Look at where she's at now. Look at all the things that have happened since 2020. And I remember being out there that spring. Our last weekend on the road, we played Indianapolis, and then we went to Denver, and I think we finished up in Kansas City.
We had been talking. Remember.
We'd been talking that weekend. Just about, I remember I'd ordered a couple of cases of hand sanitizer and wipes, and we were talking about how do we protect things out here? How do we keep doing our meet and greets? Because we were trying to do no contact meet and greets and all these things that we had talked about.
And you and I were doing something together too, like a Q&A kind of thing.
And then we got back after that run. That was the first weekend of March, and the whole thing came crashing down. It was freaking over. That's when they pulled the plug on all of it. I mean,
I remember it must have been a weekend we were off together or something. I don't know, but we went to play a show. I think it was in North Louisiana, maybe at some casino, and it was like an hour before the show. It was on off
Yeah.
the whole day, and they were like, nope. So what do we do? We just all go in the casino and gamble and
Yeah.
see, like it was weird, man. But and then obviously the whole world changed. Kind of. I mean, it was unexpected to me, at least. I mean, I remember getting off the bus, telling my driver at my house, I'm like, all right, dude, enjoy a couple weeks off. We'll see you shortly.
we all felt like we were going to be going back to work pretty quick.
Boom.
In my entire life, I'd never, it's almost like we had insulation from the outside world as far as entertainment and theater and any of the arts.
recession-proof.
We were basically recession proof. Never thought anything like that could ever happen to us. And to see the rug jerked out from under us, it was. I hope we never go through anything like that again.
Same,
it
man.
was really a tough situation to go
That
through.
was what kind of was the spark that lit the fire to me ending up in rehab was COVID, man. Because not only took all your, well, I don't want to say all. You felt like it, or I felt like it took all of my reason for being away. Music's obviously my career, but it's my passion.
Oh, it's a piece of us.
And you're not getting either. And then concern for how do I keep paying my employees and everybody not just all this stuff and so that was the trigger for me. And then I just kind of let myself get out of control. But to your point, I'm super glad that that is over and we have gotten back to pretty much normal. I mean, it feels like some things are never going to get back to what they exactly were.
But some things are, bigger. I mean, there's a lot of changes that have happened in the world. I mean, we've had a huge resurgence of classic country music that has had a deep impact on a lot of people from my era.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your career's continued to blossom. You've been out with Riley for this year, and I'm sure that's been had a huge impact. I mean, he's drawn. He's one of the hottest acts out there in the entire country, and just to get on that stage in front of those fans every night, they're very receptive to guys.
Yeah, it's great, man. And like you and I have talked before, like bridging that gap between the younger artist is has been something that like things like this tour certainly help with. And Riley's been great, man. He's been great to us even through my situation. He's like, dude, you come back when you're ready, kind of deal. And as you know, that's the way it should be, but it's not always the case. So
yeah, he's such a cool guy, though.
He really
is. Very laid back and just very self-aware of things that are going on.
He's
a cool guy.
Smart guy, too.
Yeah, very much so.
So,
musical wise, tell me what's going on project wise, where you're at with the current stuff and everything that's out there right now.
Yeah, I guess it was last year. I've got probably 30 or 40 songs written for a new album. As a matter of fact, we've recorded, I believe, 4 tracks, and I've sang them, and they'll be from an upcoming album that'll hopefully be out first quarter next year. We've got to cut, 7 or 8 more songs, but I think we have them. We just got to go cut them, and we're actually releasing soon. I don't know exactly when. Somebody out there is probably screaming at me. But a song called Missing You Night, like as a gratis track. We're going to start releasing one every so often to kind of get people excited and aware of what's going on.
Conceptual wise, anything different, any new direction, or
not really, man. You don't want to be that artist that does the same thing over and over and over, but at the same time, I don't want to contradict myself either. Like I do what I do because that's what I personally enjoy doing and what I feel like I do best, which is more traditional leaning with a Southern rock twist.
Well,
So
as you get a body of work built underneath you, which you had what 14, 15 number ones at this point, and a lot of singles out there. You start recording projects. At least for me, this is what I've done. Looking for what do I need to add to my live show? How is this going to complement that? So I've already done that top song. I don't need to keep regurgitating that same tempo or that same thing. So I was looking for something else that fits the overall big picture of where you're at with your career.
yeah, I try to be cognizant of that for sure. Like for example, our next radio single, I've made it well known. I feel like it's time for us to do a tempo single. Whatever a single is nowadays.
Is a label does a
Whatever.
label let you have input on that? Because I
Yeah,
know, Mark Wills and I have talked about this. Mark Wills had one mid-tempo hit with 19 something,
Yep.
and the mass body of his work was all freaking ballads.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's very aware of the hole that put him in from a show
Yeah.
standpoint.
Yeah, you and I both have buddies who are artists that I don't know how you get pigeonholed.
You allow it to happen in some ways.
But maybe it's not doing what you're asking me about right now. Are you cognizant of those types of things? And but we both got really good artist buddies that are great, super talented, can do whatever, and they somehow get pigeonholed as this or that. And I feel very fortunate that for whatever reason, maybe it is being conscious of it. It's a lot of luck too, probably, but we've not been been in that situation. Like we've been able to do, kind of all over the map. The real touching songs, like "If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away," or the down home stuff, like "Small Town," or the rockin' stuff, like all the stuff we've had out there. And so I remember I had that thought when we had put out 2 or 3 redneck kind of deals, and some of them successful, some of them not as much. But this is first in my career, and then they wanted to put out not really a ballad, but a love song, and I'm like, I don't think people want to hear that from me. And it ended up being a big hit, and we've been able to go down that path as well. So I feel blessed for that for sure.
Yeah. When does the Raleigh stuff wrap up?
I want to say October, something like that.
But basically through the early fall of this year.
Early fall, yeah.
Are you going to work beyond that? And what does next year look like? Because we're all looking at the calendar.
Yeah.
The booking agency now kind of starting to put the tour together for next year.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but this year was, of course, I had 30, 40 days off. That was part right in the middle of the summer. But I don't know. We hope next year looks to be busier for us than this year has been, which is good,
Yeah.
We've done a number of, big festivals, and now we're on the Raleigh tour, obviously. But specifically next year, I'm not sure, but I know that it's supposed to be busier than this year. Then when you get an album coming out, then there's all kinds of craziness surrounding that as well.
Yeah, and it's it's just so cluttered out there right now. We've been having trouble finding relief drivers. A lot of people out there don't realize all bus drivers have to have a CDL license, and they are restricted to how many hours they can spend behind the wheel. And sometimes, if you're 600-700 miles away, we have some long runs periodically, long West Coast runs. And there's so many people on the road. There's so many tours out there. We are oversaturating this.
That's what I'm getting from my booking agent as far as not being as busy this year.
Yep.
Is they're like, man, literally everybody's out.
Yep.
And they've cut down on some of these festivals and stuff.
The blue dot issues that everybody's having. There's a lot of big tours, but the prices have really gotten in some situations a little out of control. I think some of the production, just because you can, don't mean you need to blow up so much shit. I'm sorry.
Right? No, I agree.
Yeah, and I think that's having an effect because the economy is still a little sluggish, and a lot of people don't have that much disposable income.
Right.
It's still kind of tough out there.
Yep, I agree 100%. Yeah, for sure.
So, will you go back out and put another tour together? I mean,
Yeah, probably. I mean, well, if anybody happens to want to snag us
yeah.
for some major something, I mean, we'll obviously consider that. But we've been out with Riley a lot. I actually kind of looking forward to getting back out there and playing, 90 minutes
Yeah, because
instead
those,
of an hour or whatever.
yeah, that 50-minute slot or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
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 it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but I've missed playing a handful of
yeah.
songs.
Because you don't get to do all your stuff,
Right,
man. It's
right.
really
So now they're my manager's trying to get me to add into that set list this brand new song that nobody's heard, and I'm like, I don't even get to play all the stuff I want to play.
yeah.
Not that I don't want to play new stuff, I do, but it's tough in that
And when
window of
everything's so
time.
condensed down,
Yeah.
when I was out there, I actually was forced to work up a little 4 or 5 song medley.
That's
to
what
try
we
to-
did.
I didn't have a choice trying to, and then you feel yourself forced. It's like just
Bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
It's like trying to
Exactly.
slam
Because you
everything
try to
through.
get as much music in there as you can.
Because I feel like as a fan, somebody's going to be disappointed that you didn't play something.
Oh, 100%.
And
That's every show. You can play 4 hours and
Yeah.
they're going to be upset you didn't play this or that. But yeah, we put a medley together as well. And I mean, look, these are first world problems.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
but,
We ain't got nothing to bitch about.
but yeah, I feel blessed that we have that issue, if you want to call it an issue. It beats the alternative, that's for sure.
I tell you, there's music wise out here, Nashville is definitely oversaturated. There's so much music going on Lower Broad. There's so many new artists coming all the time. Anybody out there that's exciting for you that you've run across? I know I've seen some stuff with you. I love Priscilla Block. I know she's been doing some stuff.
She's great.
Hadn't seen anything current from her in a while. I don't know what's going on radio wise with
I think
her.
she put a new album. I don't remember. We
But is there anybody musically that you've stumbled across that's
man.
like, man, this kid's going to do great? Or
Oh man, that's a really good question. I'm terrible, TL, because my tour manager makes fun of me because I listen to the same Merle Haggard and Hank Jr. stuff,
how many times you walk up, I'm listening to the same shit.
and he's really good about like seeking out new stuff, and he'll turn me on to that I've never heard of, and it's good. But he'll walk up, and I'm still listening to the same, Waylon from Billy Bob's or something. He's like, "Don't you want to?" I'm like, "Nah, I just like this stuff."
I just use this to warm up. This is
Yeah,
what I do.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but golly, man, Zach Top, I think is a real deal. Don't know him well, I've met him, but don't know him well. But I dig his stuff.
Yeah, and that's really good because I talk about this in the set some too. Just how good it is to see Fiddle and Steel back on the radio a little bit
Oh,
more
man.
prominently.
It's awesome.
Because he's cutting good traditional stuff. I mean, stuff like what we've done in the 80s
Yeah.
and 90s. And that's
Yeah.
and I hope that more people are going to start doing that
Yeah.
stuff. And I like the popper stuff. I mean, there's some great stuff out
See,
there.
I don't.
I like it, but that doesn't mean
I don't mean that it's all bad. I mean, there's some good stuff. It's just not my cup of tea.
No,
I
there's a
don't-
lot of
you
stuff
know.
that I don't care about out there on the radio, but that's just. I mean, nobody's going to like everything. There's a
No.
lot of people don't like what we do.
Exactly.
That's just
100%.
part of it.
100%. So, but man, I'm terrible. Ella's, I dig her stuff.
See, she was out there opening up when I was with Riley 2 years ago.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
how
yeah.
that's exploded,
Exactly.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a couple, but Jake Worthington, I know he's not brand new, but newer, younger artist. Love his stuff.
Yeah, Emily Ann Roberts, I love her. She's a sweet kid. I love May Estes too. You had a chance.
Oh yeah,
I love
Arkansas girl.
Yeah, she's.
I don't
from
know
Hope,
exactly
Arkansas.
where.
Hope, Arkansas.
Hope, okay.
Place for the Watermelon Festival.
I don't know that I've met her.
Headlined it.
Yeah.
She just headlined it the other day, and she shared a photo of when you and
Good
Jim-
for
Yeah,
her.
when I had played it years ago, when she was like 12 or 13 years old, and she got a picture with me when I played the
Wow,
watermelon.
I didn't know they were still doing that.
I think so. Yeah,
I guess I've never
they
played.
still grow watermelons down there.
I've never played. That ain't too far from where you're from, is it?
About maybe an hour 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's just to the east of Texarkana, so
Yeah.
it's not very far.
Gotcha.
Yep. How's the sports world treating you, man? I want to talk about college sports, man, because I have some frustration with the NIL and things that are going on. And I'm worried about the long-term ramifications of what I see happening to college sports. And I don't think it's just going to start and stop with football, because football is the driving engine of most of the things that happen in a university sports-wise.
Yep.
They bring all the revenue in, and from that it trickles down to your lacrosse team and your swim team and your golf team and all those lower spectator sports. And when you take that money that's been used to going to feed all these smaller sports and help with the scholarships and all this other stuff, and all of a sudden your quarterback's getting $2.5 million, what's the long-term effect of how this is going to end up?
Well, it's not sustainable.
Completely unsustainable.
Especially with zero guardrails, which is what exists now. Nobody's a bigger fan than me of sports. I mean, and I used to be the guy like Opie, and you know this, but like I knew who we were recruiting in women's volleyball.
You're more obsessed with you and Opie are. Opie can tell you who played on the 1960s football team, and I'm so far detached from that.
So that's how sick we are.
I know. Yeah.
And now, man, somebody asked me the other day. Like, who's my favorite player on our current football team? I go, I don't know. I don't know but 2 or 3 of the names, because I think we have 60-something new players, and that happens every single year. And so it's impossible unless that's all you do to keep. Now, Opie maybe still can. I don't know
if anybody can keep up with it.
But
and how do you?
But that's part of the fun of it. Is kind of where I was going. Like, for me at least, and guys coming back. I remember, after we won the national championship in basketball in '94, all those guys still came back, and you don't get that anymore.
No, because it's too self-centered for the individual athlete and not about the team element.
Correct.
What sports is supposed to be about.
Yeah,
I think we've lost that.
Yeah, and maybe it's getting older, or maybe I'm the old man, get off my lawn kind of.
I don't think so.
Mindset, but I think the charm for collegiate athletics has been taken away.
Well, it's just it's like it's become what minor league baseball is. To the sport of baseball.
Yeah.
It's become and it's always been kind of a farm team type situation. But now when you're paying these kids, they're more inclined to stay an extra year or two if they can redshirt and stay a little bit longer. I mean, because some of them, if they can get that kind of money in college, they might not have the desire to go to the NFL.
Right.
Because, the reality, other than your extreme skill sets, the life expectancy of an NFL athlete is very, very short.
Very.
3-5 years, for some of the linemen and some of the bigger guys. The quarterbacks are the best scenario of all.
Because they protect them so well.
But it's just different, man.
It is, man. And like you said, it's just become an extension of the professional leagues now. And, growing up in the South, I think in particular, our bread and butter is college sports. We care about that more than pros.
Well, because we didn't have a pro team.
Right.
The closest team to us was the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah. And so, I hate that. And as specifically to paying players, my personal opinion, and nobody cares about it, but I'm always willing to give it. My personal opinion is my parents couldn't afford to send me, let's just say, University of Arkansas. They just couldn't do it. Would I have loved to do that? Yeah, absolutely. Even if it wasn't playing ball, but would I have loved the opportunity to go put on a jersey? Hell yeah. But God didn't bless me with that talent or the height or whatever. And so I'm still of the belief that you are getting paid because you're getting a free education. Now, whether you choose to take advantage of that is on you. If you're more worried about getting to the pros, and I can completely understand that. I mean, there's money, and I get it, life-changing. Totally understand the argument, but can't you wait a couple of years?
Well,
I mean, I don't. And people that use the argument, well, the coaches are getting paid $12 million. Well, they're professionals. I mean, they also coached for how many years, if not decades, for basically nothing.
Yep.
They paid their dues.
Here's my issue.
kind of deal.
I believe that I'm not opposed to these kids getting paid, but I don't think they should have access to millions of dollars. I think at the very least it should be put in an escrow account that they can't get. I mean,
Till they're 25
there could be a
or
piece
whatever.
of it or whatever, but they can't get it till they get out of college. And if you hit the transfer portal and you leave that school, that's off the table. That's gone.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't. I don't think kids should be driving Maybachs and Bentleys around on the college campus when they're 19 freaking years old.
Well, let's take sports out of the equation. Do you think that's healthy for an 18, 19-year-old?
Absolutely not.
As a human being, I can promise you, it's not.
It wouldn't have been
put
for me
in rehab, basically.
I mean, I was 23 when it hit me, and I still went through a lot of money that I sure wish I'd understood then what I do now.
Is that when you got initially hot?
Yeah, when I got my record deal.
I was 23 also.
Yeah, that's when everything took off.
I've got a lot of similarities. I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm young. Yep. You know what I'm considering. Anyway,
but the difference between, even though I made some poor money choices, I did make some good ones. I bought a lot of real estate. I was smart enough to know that the only way for me to protect it was to buy land, because if I tied the money up, I couldn't blow through it. And that was one of the smartest things I did.
Yeah.
But the difference between music artists and professional athletes is the shelf life is a whole lot shorter. I can work as long as I'm healthy into my 70s or 80s. A lot of people have done this. I mean, Willie Nelson's 92 years old and he's still touring.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
he's a machine.
And when you have access to making millions of dollars, if you don't protect it, if you know that shelf life is short, you're going to wind up on Skid Row. The poverty level is high. The suicide rate's high. The depression level's high. The alcoholism and the drug abuse is high, because you got a real short window there where you can ball and make it rain and have a brilliant life and everything's great. But when it's over, you blow that knee out 5 years into that NFL deal, and you're done.
Yep.
And there's a small percentage that go into broadcasting, man. That's a very small.
Oh, yeah.
What else are you going to do? Sell insurance?
Yeah.
I mean, really,
open a car
because
dealership.
most of them don't think
Not that
past,
there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all. But most of them don't look past that NFL career. But not, outside of all that, think of all the other kids in college sports that are going to be affected because that money's displaced from them having access to it.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people use scholarships, sports scholarships, and less recognized college activities for that scholarship to go to college and get an education. And it's going to affect all that across the board.
Oh, I agree. Especially like what they're doing with the ruling that just came out, I guess, late last week, the 5th year for the 22 guys.
I hadn't heard about this.
So if you were an incoming freshman, I believe this is what it is. Somebody may be typing, he don't know what the hell he's talking about right now in the comments, but I believe if you were an incoming freshman in 22, you automatically get an extra year. And so let's just take LSU, for example. They have currently two players on their current basketball roster. School starts this week, I believe. So in the past, you just have 2 players. You're screwed, or you got to go have tryouts for walk-ons. Well, now because of this ruling, there's going to be a whole bunch of guys that are, eligible to play now. So you can just go get a roster full of 22, 23-year-olds.
That's how they won a national championship last year.
Yeah. So it's unfair, I believe. And I'm just using LSU as an example because I hate them. But
we love the people from Louisiana.
Well,
Let's be clear.
A lot of them. We like a lot of them. Did you ever tell them about us calling the Hogs and was it Baton Rouge?
Oh, we've talked about it.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, that's something that we will carry with us the rest of our lives. You looked at me like you thought I had lost my mind.
I did. I'm like, man, I'm hardcore, but this guy.
Our merch guy was even out there.
Oh yeah.
But they did it.
And they did it.
They
with
did
us.
it. It was awesome.
I think they felt bad for us.
We will never see that in our lifetime again.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think we were going to get out alive. Because, my wife's from down there, so I know how they folks can be. But yeah, so that's going to, it's unfair for the teams that went out and did it correctly, but it's also unfair to your point, and this is a long way around, I know, but to your point about affecting like incoming freshmen and stuff, like if you're waiting all this time as a coach, administration, to wait to see who's going to be all out there now and just add a bunch of grown men with babies and wives and stuff, then how's that going to affect the incoming freshmen? There's going to be less scholarships available.
There's a big difference.
So what's going to happen for those kids?
22-year-old biological man and a 25, 26-year-old biological man.
Big difference. Yeah. Big difference.
Can I ask a question? So for the sports, I know like NIL is college only, right? And
Correct.
Yep.
do you just? My son plays travel baseball and rec league baseball.
How old is he?
He's 8.
Okay. My 9-year-old plays this one.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, East Coast thoughts. Shout out. So when do you think they're going to start? Like, I mean, obviously, I feel like they're. I don't want to say grooming because I hate that word, but I feel like they're starting to like condition these younger kids to like
without
do
a doubt.
that.
Oh,
But I feel
they've introduced legislation for NIL in high school.
No,
Yeah.
that's what my question was
Yeah.
because the
I didn't mean to
Little
interrupt
League
you.
World, no, it's great. The Little League World Series is on right now. I mean, you had Nolensville that was in it, and then you had there's an Alabama school in it, and so these are like 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds, and they're in this.
And there's already scouts watching
Looking
these
at
kids.
100%.
So I've got a 16-year-old nephew, and he lived with us while his dad got transferred and was working abroad. So he lived with us because he'd been out of the country for a couple of years. So he was with us. He turned 15 when he was living with us. And he's already got scouts following him. When he was living with us, he was hitting 92, 93, and now he's hitting 98. He's 16 years old, got 98 mile an hour fastball.
Yeah, he's going to go somewhere.
So he just had a tournament up in Knoxville last week. Becca went up and watched him play, and there were tons of scouts that already watching him. I mean, that's just but they're starting to watch him.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the Mannings, because of the quarterback school that they've started grooming these kids early teenage years now. Or it's got to be the same in all disciplines.
Well, and now this year particularly, you're seeing a lot more kids what's called reclassify. Like Arkansas, for example, has 2 kids that should be going into their senior year of high school that were 27 kids that just reclassified and are on campus now playing for the basketball team that are 17.
But see, that's
It gets crazy.
and it's gonna mess up the school systems too because like you're coming from Alabama, went to Spain Park and Hoover and all that.
Yeah.
You have all these kids that have to be zoned to certain school systems, and then they like have if you transfer within the school system, you have to sit out a year and like all this stuff. But I mean, it's not just in that area because I mean it's everywhere that kids are doing this. But I feel like that's gonna bring a whole nother issue when it comes to like the education system.
Oh,
and
yeah.
property values.
The fact that
priorities are totally out of whack.
But the fact that you've let money become a part of the conversation with these
The
young kids,
conversation.
that's when the sports agents and scouts and all that stuff
Parents
come involved.
with
The parents,
ill intentions.
because they look at that 16-year-old kid as an opportunity to change their life.
The
If you can
golden
go-
goose.
If you can go out there and pick up $100 million contract and you're a baseball pitcher, and the quicker you can get to that money, screw college.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
and you're missing the point of what college sports was about. It's about not only the development of an athlete, it's the development of the mind and the character of these young people. I mean, you're throwing all that out the window to chase the dollar, and I think it's totally wrong.
And the tough luck lessons from getting whipped or
And
you don't get to play.
and gathering
'cause of the way
together
you
as a
carry
team and
yourself.
overcoming adversity. It's not I. It's supposed to be we.
That's why people ask me all the time, like, why are you so obsessed with sports? And I just think they're a great tool
Yes.
at a really important stage in life. You learn
building
how to
block.
succeed. You learn how to fail. You learn how to lead. You learn how to be led. You know, be a part of a team.
How to manage your emotions and overcome the challenges of life. You got kids that are waking up in their 20s now that are coming out of college with $200,000 worth of debt. and nothing but $17 an hour jobs, and they can't even pay back their student loans. The whole thing is flipped upside down on its head right now.
100%. Yeah, and you know, if I was 18 and God gifted me with that ability, size, whatever, and there's a $3 million check, well, of course I'm going to want to take it and do that. But I'm fairly certain my parents would advise me. I know this looks good, but you know, kind of. And so I put a lot of blame on the people around the kids. I mean,
how many
the kids
parents
are kids.
But there's a lot of parents that are just as eager to grab that dollar.
100, yeah,
We
exactly.
had a Little League tournament. Literally, it's a Little League tournament. And that we had the other team was, I think, frustrated that we were winning, and they asked for one of our kids' birth certificates at a Little League team.
I've dealt with that. Because I've coached all my kids.
We weren't even like, we were totally in the rules, but we ended up getting kicked out of the tournament because they pitched such fit about different things. And
The parents care about it more than the kids.
Insane.
And I'm not
That's
saying
where
I'm
they
not
rely
guilty
on
of
you.
that to an extent as a coach, but
Yeah.
I would like to think that 99.9% of the time I try to do what's best for the kids' best interest. If I'm reaming an umpire or something, it's because I'm fighting for my kids, you know. Did get kicked out of an 8-year-old basketball game last year, so it's the first time I got tossed in a while.
You know, and you speak up about some of this stuff, you know, just like all the stuff. I obviously have never been a WNBA fan. I don't really follow basketball that much.
Oh my gosh, I love what those guys are doing.
I do
but
too.
Go ahead.
But golly, man, it's just people will take somebody that has an opinion about something and misconstrue that opinion and make it a racist issue or something personal when that's not what any of this is about. This is about right and wrong.
Right.
It's not that I hate people that live a different kind of lifestyle that I choose to live. I don't wish harm on anybody. I'm not trying to pass judgment on anybody. I'm just calling out the right and wrong about a biological man competing against young girls. It's not right.
It's not right. It's just not right. I mean,
No.
And the people pushing that agenda know that it's not right. They're pushing it for what else? Basically, at the end of the day, money again.
It's all
It's just the root of all evil. I mean, it really, truly is. But you've seen what the two guys are doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too, man.
And they're freaked out right now because they don't know how to deal with it
Yeah.
because all of a sudden they got backed into it.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how all of it shakes out.
How they going to crawfish out of this
I
one?
don't know. But I bring that up just to showcase just how many of these things have gotten out of whack since COVID. Because none of this stuff was happening in 2019. It was not. And here we are, 6-7 years later, and it's like the whole world is tilted on its axis a little bit. It's really
and I don't know
messed up.
how, I mean, I think I do, but like, just all that being said, in our position, in particular as artists, and specifically country artists, giving our educated opinions on things. Until I got older, a little bit older, I would shy away from that because I didn't want to lose my career. Because no matter what, if you have a difference of opinion of whomever else, then you're racist, you're a bigot, the white supremacist, whatever. If you're conservative and Christian and you try your best to live by the word, and it's God's word. It ain't mine. It's his. And I believe in it. And so you can't even give that opinion or you're homophobic or you're
not about hatred.
It's not a personal thing.
No,
it's
it
just
is
me
not.
trying to do what I believe God called me to do. That's it. And have I failed millions of times?
All have. There's
But
only been one perfect man that ever walked.
the older I get, if you don't want my 100% honest answer, don't ask me. And let the chips fall where they may.
But I swear, as I'm sitting here, it doesn't come from a point of hatred, or judgment. I mean, it's just.
I have, as well as you, I have great friends on both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
And I'll go grab a non-alcoholic beer with any of them. So, but it's just, I don't know. It's wild, man.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years because I think we're going to see some drastic changes coming up. We're almost through the midterms. We're coming up on midterms and everything right now, and I think once we shift gears into the back of the next 2 years of this administration, you're going to see a lot of things change.
Yeah.
Some for the good and some not probably for the
Yeah.
so good. Who knows what that
Yeah.
entails.
And like you said, just to reiterate, or will be canceled for you know it. I don't wish ill will on anybody, whether they believe like I do about anything or they don't. I treat people the way they treat me.
Me too.
That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So.
And this is not something. I make it a point. I don't try to get on stage when I do my shows. This is not part of my stage show because I don't believe that's what people pay their hard-earned money to come out and watch a show for. They come out to hear the music. They want to hear the songs. They want to escape from whatever they're dealing with in their day-to-day
Bills
life.
they got.
And I
they
don't
can't
believe
pay.
that my religious opinions and my political opinions and all that stuff have any bearing on the music that I play for my
agree.
fans, and I try to steer clear of it.
With that, I'm curious because people have asked me this. Because you asked me about new music earlier. They always go, so what are you trying to say with this album? Or what agenda are you trying to push? Or I've never gone into any album with that mindset. I'm just trying to cut the best country music I possibly can and write it and whatever. Do you do that? Or
I don't know if I go into it with an agenda, but I have cut some albums that had an overall thread through them, maybe. But usually it's been from emotional things, from a bad post-relationship something that, but I've
it just
never,
more or less happens subconsciously?
I don't know if subconsciously, I've gone into it. There was an album called The Coast is Clear that was really strongly influenced by a post-divorce situation. And so much of that record was strongly pulled from that. And it did have that thread through it. But it's not like I went in and did, what's the Beatles album?
Sergeant Pepper.
Sergeant Pepper's.
Yeah.
That was a concept album, you
Right.
know? And I think some people do go in and build concept albums with a little bit more depth to them. I've never gone anything that deep, but I can understand how people do.
Yeah, no, I do too. I just personally don't do that. So
And we live in a day and age where I don't know, when Sergeant Pepper came out, that was unique for its time and place. But now the world is so, people, I still want to make a record that you can put in, and from top to bottom, it's got a flow to it, and it breathes, and it's got the right amount of ballads, and it's got the right up tempos. You don't get bored with it. You want to put it in and listen to it from top to bottom. And the music world that we live in now is so single driven. And does anybody really have the patience or time to sit down and
I don't
listen
think
to a record
so,
from top to
unfortunately,
bottom?
because I'm an album guy. Like I miss the, getting a tape or a CD and you can read through who played on it and the whole. And I know I guess that exists on your phone somehow, but
But the packaging was a big part of it.
Right.
I never got to be in the era where you were putting conceptual things into an album package where you had a full vinyl record. I'm sad that I missed that.
I know that
time
would have
and
been
place in
way
my
cool.
career.
I mean, I know it's kind of, come back as a niche kind of neat thing,
it
but it's
doesn't.
not quite the same to me.
No, it doesn't really move the needle. It's a small niche group of people because everybody's so, we all live with these earbuds in our freaking ears. Nobody's listening to high
Yep.
fidelity sound. And I think sonically things they fit in that
Gotten
freaking box.
squashed, man.
How many times you go in and you're working on a project and everything's up on the graph and in the grid and everything, and it's just everything's just shoved all the way up to the freaking ceiling.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And then
Yeah.
by the time it gets done in mastering, it's just a solid bar through that whole little box. And man, it's just everything is just so crammed up in that space.
Yeah, dynamically, it's totally different.
It's kind of sad. Too.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. I don't even have a record player. I need to get one.
We've talked about putting one in here because we've picked up a few albums. We need to put a record player
It
up in
wouldn't
the
be like
corner.
a big old one. like a vintage one. Bullshit.
I swear, I've got one at the house because I've gotten back into vintage here. Well, not back into, but into vintage. And I've got one of those old ones that needs to be restored or whatever. But yeah, it's got the whole deal, the turntable, the speakers.
Oh, like the cabinet, the whole cabinet.
The whole damn,
yeah, I
the
remember.
whole 9 yards.
I remember my aunt
That's
had
cool.
one, had the big lid, and it had the speakers and everything, and had an 8-track player and a turntable and a radio. It had everything.
It was like the size of that couch.
It was a piece of furniture.
Yeah,
It took up
piece
a
of
whole
furniture.
wall in your
Yeah,
living room.
my grandparents had one in their kitchen or their dining room of all places. I don't. It's just where it was.
I found my.
I guess it's the only place it fit.
I found my 5-disc CD changer stereo player that
Oh,
I had.
boy.
Dude, I had it when I was 12 years old. I think is when I got it for Christmas. So I found it at my mom's house the other day. Took it home, plugged that sucker in. It worked surprisingly. I
Wow.
opened the CD
Like
changer.
a Walkman.
No, like the
Oh, the
boombox.
actual- yeah.
So it has the 5-disc CD changer in there. So I went to opening all 5 of them. Dude, my very first CD I ever bought with my own money, the Space Jam soundtrack, was still in there, baby. I played that so much louder than hell.
That's awesome. I was actually, this is ironic, but I was having a conversation with a buddy recently on the road. We were talking about the CD changers. I remember when I was 17, I think, I got a truck with a 6-disc changer, buddy. You thought you were
That was a
in
stuff.
a high cotton now. It's like, oh, you want to go from rap to country? All right, watch this. Yeah, I mean, it's your iPod now or phone or whatever now, but
They don't even have the CDs in the cars anymore.
No.
Oh, I
You went
know.
from having 6 to 0.
yeah, exactly.
Because everything's in that little hand box you got.
Have you priced a Walkman or a Discman lately?
Oh, there's no
Not that you
telling.
would, but they're like $200.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
crazy. Yeah.
So ridiculous.
So, what was the last live show that you actually bought tickets and went to see?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
Oh, I mean,
Bought tickets
just
or I
like,
went
like physically went,
Physically went to,
even if
okay.
you got them comped
I
to
was
you, but
saying,
I mean,
man,
where you went and actually
20
sat
years
down
ago. Bob Seger, Little Rock,
yeah.
and he played 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Now they lower the keys, but he still sounded incredible. He took a little bit of a break, intermission, and then 3.5 hours. It was ridiculous. It was really, really cool. I think that was the last one that I actually just went.
Now, you're like me. I
to
like
see.
alternative music and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think the last one I saw, we talked about this the other day, was Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper.
Oh, nah.
And I saw Disturbed at the Bridgestone, which was very cool. I mean, but I like a lot of rock and roll stuff.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was, which I mean, really, Seeger, for example, is as country as anything on the radio.
With the Eagles right in there with them.
Yeah,
you know.
Eagles, Skinner.
Yeah.
I mean, any of that Southern rock, you know.
You know, I remember when I cut the Alibis was my second studio album, and If the Good Die Young, when we were making that record, that solo section was originally like a screaming rock and roll guitar, and the label lost their freaking mind and made us go back in and put the fiddle solo in it, which was great.
Right.
But just from that time place, that would have been 1993 to now where we're at now. How much music has changed in this genre?
They'd be, for that exact track with the guitar, today they'd be going, man, it's too country.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how far we've come, and I
It's
don't,
crazy.
You know, and country. The thing I do love, always have, and still love about country is the diversity. Even if I don't like all of it, it's still a big mixing pot creatively for so many different styles of country. What we call country music, from your Jelly Roll to your Maestas,
Right.
you know, and Zach Top, and all.
Yeah.
It's just I love that part of our format and what it says about us as an industry and about music in this town.
Yeah, and it's always been cyclical also.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 70s were what they were, and then into the 80s it got a little more, I don't know if pop is the right word, but it sounded a lot different than it did in the early 90s when y'all came out, you know.
You know, and I wish I could put my finger on what's causing it, and I'm struggling with it off and on too. I think so many people are having voice issues these days, and I wonder if some of it's contributed to by the ear molds that we use. People are singing different. They're singing too closed off. You know, I don't remember back in the day people having the voice issues that we have.
Yeah,
And
I don't.
I did some shows with Luke Bryan. Luke had some issues this year. I've had issues. God, who else? There's just been a whole barrage of them.
Cody had something.
ear thing.
Yeah, he had an
The
ear
ear
thing.
thing, okay.
But it just seems like everybody's had some
Yeah.
kind of voice issue. There's been a lot of show cancellations out there the last couple of years.
I don't know what you
I
would
don't know if
attribute that to,
in the
because
food
I mean
or something in the air that we're breathing or something.
the in ears. I mean, they sell you as it's better for your
You
ears.
sing different.
But I don't know about your voice.
I don't think you sing. I try to be more conscious of it, but I do notice that I change the way that I sing. I sing a little bit more throaty, trying to contain everything.
Instead of through your diaphragm?
Instead of singing from down here where you're pushing all that air. Because I tend to, I'll blow a microphone up my heartbeat now.
Yeah,
I'll blow
you
the
sing
core out.
loud.
I sing hard.
See, I didn't know this until a couple of weeks ago. My monitor engineer was asking. She goes, "Your ears good? You think, are they still sealing good?" I'm like, I think. Hell, I don't know. They feel like they always do. She's like, "Well, you're singing like harder than ever," and I'm like,
Well, probably coming out of rehab.
I don't know.
Your ears relaxed a little bit.
Yeah, I
and,
don't know.
And your body starts responding
Yeah.
different. You know.
"Yeah." So I don't know.
I feel like y'all push yourselves very hard. God, like y'all's managers are awful.
They are.
Because they just sign you up for anything and everything,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But
They're
I
just
feel like
trying to
y'all-
make a buck off of
Right,
us.
exactly. Can't even. But I feel like that's another thing. I mean, you sing 3 days straight.
Yep.
And I don't know what yours is.
Typical.
But and then
Yeah, 3 days.
Tracy does a podcast. Tracy has
Mm-hmm.
cooking videos that I force him to do. I don't know. I just feel like y'all are always busy too. That has to play a role in it.
Yeah, and talking's the worst thing for your voice. And I don't know if I've talked to you, but I do I'm the co-host of a sports talk show in Little Rock.
Yep.
Um,
I've actually
5 years now. It's crazy.
I think I've done that with you, phone wise, at least once,
Yeah,
maybe twice.
yeah, you have.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's 3 hours. It's 9 hours a week, but it's still 9 hours of talking.
Yeah, but I don't know. They say talking's worse for you. I mean, I can be fine and talk all day, and then sometimes you can't even hear it in my speaking voice, and I get on stage and I just can't project.
It's just not there.
It's just not there.
Yeah.
And I found that to be, as I've gotten older, that it seems to be lingering in the background all the time. But
Yeah.
you learn to navigate around it,
I've been really, really lucky, man. I mean, I've had issues like everybody else has, but nothing that has just really got me down,
Yeah.
outside of regular illnesses,
Yeah. So what does the rest of the year look for you when y'all get done with the rally in October? Or is that where you're hanging yours up? You going into hunting mode? Or you going to try to make up for the lost month? Or what you going to do at the end of the
We're
year?
going to work a little bit later than we typically do. We typically try to take off around Halloween, maybe
Yeah.
the first week of November. We have some shows going in maybe through the end of November, try to make up, like you said, just a little bit of the time that we lost. And, because we all go in and take a pretty good amount of time off for the holidays, as you know.
Yep.
And just try to, stack that business account so I can keep paying everybody.
How much socials are you doing? Are you a daily poster, or are you just like me? You do your podcast,
Terrible,
couple
man.
of things. Yeah, I'm too.
I'm terrible. I don't even have social media on my phone. I haven't had in 6 or 7 years. It's been a long time, and it's awesome. But it does make it challenging, more so for my team than me, because they're like, "Hey, I'm like, yeah, that's good. I approve everything that's going out. I just personally don't post it myself or look at any comments or anything like that."
And I found that to be healthy. I mean, it's not healthy to be looking at your comments, because
No.
there's always going to be some negative crap.
There's always a jackass out there, and it usually stems from immaturity and jealousness and
or some people
whatever.
just enjoy just stirring up crap.
right.
Yeah. And if you don't respond to it, I'll ask you this question. So recently, I just had a woman through a friend of mine, another artist peer of mine, that said somebody had been posing as me on the internet and got this woman for over $60,000.
Oh.
Have you had any issues like that?
Yeah, nothing like that. I mean, that's
a big
crazy,
one. Yeah, it's
crazy.
kind of-
But back even when we were doing our podcast, my tour manager JR and myself, we would say it basically as a disclaimer, guys. Like, if people are, saying this or that online, it's not real.
And with AI, it's getting harder and harder to tell.
100%.
Because they can take your voice. I know my tour manager, somebody sampled his voice.
Videos,
they will
anything.
call you up and say and portray themselves as somebody you know and be able to just take advantage of you. It's scary out there.
Yeah, there was, I think the craziest one I had was, I don't remember where in the country this was, but this was 7-8 years ago, maybe, where this mother of a daughter, an adult daughter, kept contacting me, but she thought, because long story short, I had been having an affair with her daughter, taking her from her husband and her kids, and she's worthless now, and all this kind of stuff. And my people, if you want to say, my team, kept responding back, this is not him. He don't even have social media, blah, 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 whatever. And they just won't believe you.
No, they won't believe you.
It's sad, man. That's what we talk. It's sad. Even it got to like my tour manager, who's like my best friend, and he's like, ma'am, I promise you. Like, he's been married to the same woman for, however long at that time, and kids, but I promise you, I'm with him all the time. He don't even have social media, and they just won't believe it.
I bring it up to reiterate the fact to all these people out there. If people are approaching you pretending to be an artist,
they're not.
We don't want your money. They're not us. I promise they're not us.
Well, think about it rationally. Like, if we wanted to contact those people, it would not be sliding into your DMs or something. I mean, as the kids say. I mean, it's just that would be really stupid.
Yeah, it's going to be scary to see how far that progresses. Because right now, I can tell when I see the AI video stuff because there's a texture to it, and I can even hear somewhat the Suno demos and things.
Yeah.
There's a quality in the voice. It's almost a phasing compression sound to that voice. It's a little bit different. But how long is it going to be before you absolutely cannot tell it all?
Right. Yeah. That technology's out there, and even taking it a step further with what we do for a living, like, I mean, that's scary to think about, that there could be these artists that don't even exist.
Oh, it's coming.
I mean,
it's going to be a whole format set
crazy.
Up just for that, and I think all that stuff already exists.
I thought my head was going to explode, 10, 12 years ago, when all you had to do was do something stupid on YouTube to get famous. Now you're going to tell me it ain't even a person?
Yeah.
Taking my job.
Speaking of YouTube and AI, I saw this morning. So people on eBay, they're doing this. So say I bought a basketball card, PSA graded 10. I get the card.
I have no idea what you just said, but I'm going with it.
Well, when they grade cards.
Yeah, and I'm halfway kidding.
So it's official. So I ordered this card, and then I contact the seller, and I say, hey, man, this card is defective, but I used AI to take a picture of said card, and then I told AI to make it look defective or whatever. So then that person files the claim with eBay, and then they get it cleared through eBay essentially to send the product back to the original seller. Well, the seller got his product back, but he opens the bag, and it's not his PSA graded 10 basketball card. It's a VHS of That's Dancing or something like that. So they're using AI to file these false claims on eBay, and eBay is siding with the customer. Instead of seller.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a trading card?
Yeah. Like basketball cards.
Wow.
Cards, baseball cards.
You could have a really good conversation about that with my 9-year-old. He's obsessed.
Have you played around?
No, I mean he knows every grading on. I don't mean that in a negative way. I like to mean you're a child. I don't mean.
Oh, you're right on the point, brother. Let me tell you.
I didn't mean that the way it came out. I'm saying he knows all that stuff, and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, Dad, it's 3 of 100 or what? I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, what? I don't know, whatever, dude. So
Hey, we all got to get into something. A lot of people are into that trading.
he gets mad at me because he's into Fortnite right now, and really anything on the PlayStation. But And he's talking to his buddies, and he's on the bus with me last week, and he's like, Beckett, I need that AR. They're just all, and I'm like, hey, why did this? He's like, Dad, you just don't understand.
I'm in war right now.
No, I don't understand. That's why I'm asking questions.
Is he cussing him yet when he gets killed?
No, but I've heard some cuss words on there. So, sorry, I'm throwing us out of
That's all
whack
good.
here.
Have you played around with any of the Suno stuff, songwriting apps, the AI stuff?
I haven't, man.
It's pretty fascinating, brother. It's
Have you?
a little bit. I haven't. I've used it for production ideas. I haven't. I've never used it to write a lyric. I've always put my own lyric and stuff in. But I've gotten some great production ideas out of it.
Really?
Because I think
Makes sense.
What I see happening is that for $30-something a month, you can pay for the premium app and you can get basically unlimited demos. So once you put your work tape in and then type your lyric out and give some parameters, you could do multiple versions till you find a demo that you like.
Yeah.
And then you can take that and go and cut your masters
Right.
off of it. So
It makes sense.
But it's I think it's going to start squeezing these small little studios out of play because there's no reason to go in and spend $600-700 to cut a song, and go in and do a batch of songs when you can do versions of a whole bunch of them and pay $100.
I wonder if they've already suffered simply from now we don't do demo sessions and we don't, you know what I mean? And so you're in the studio literally, at least for us, we're only in the studio to track.
Yeah.
That's it. And so that's what, 3 days? For us anyway, 3-4 days in the studio and you track everything.
Oh, man, you could do, you can go in the studio. I can take 2 days. If I do all my pre-production work and have everything mapped out, I can do 12 songs in 2 days.
Yeah.
Not vocals, but I can have everything done with overdubs and everything ready to go in and do vocals and background vocals.
Yeah,
The only thing left to do is vocals and mix out and master.
Whereas back then, once a month or so, these little studios were getting business from all of us songwriters that, picked 8 songs or whatever, booked the session, but it's crazy. And nowadays, I'm sure it exists to an extent, but not in my world anymore. Like the studio musicians are probably getting a lot less work because of that too. I would assume because they're probably only playing on records for the most part.
I don't think it's totally pushed it out yet, but all these publishing companies, on the slim margins that they have and how much product they want to get done on the cheap, I guarantee it's affecting their demo rates.
Because, I started probably 7 or 8 years ago now writing with track guys. Do you do that?
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I've done it, but
it's
I don't like
not my favorite, but it is pretty damn handy.
Yeah.
And all the guys I've written with are great guys, super talented. But by the time you get done writing the song, the demo's done almost. Outside of you singing it, it's crazy. It's just not it's super efficient compared to what we used to do. But
the few times that I've done it, by the time I get done and walk out the door, I'm very confused about really half the time whether or not the song's any good or not because it moves by so fast and he's over there clicking and flying tracks and doing this and that and building all this stuff in. And I leave there going, is this really any good or am I just kind of caught up in the moment?
Yeah.
I have to back away from it a little bit.
Yeah. I can definitely see how you could get a lot more excited than just sitting there with a guitar or whatever.
Yeah,
you could get more excited about a song that maybe isn't as good as
Yeah.
I get it.
Really, it's
Yeah.
hard to put it in a true perspective because I personally like when I'm writing, focusing heavy on the lyric and making sure that I get as much out of that word that I chose to put.
I
in
agree.
That's because I can do the rest of it in post time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Some guys are big melody guys.
I think it's important. Melody's a huge
I
part
agree,
of it.
but I'm with you. If you made me choose what's more important, if it's an unbelievable melody and shitty lyrics, I ain't gonna cut it. Vice versa, like you said, you can always kind of piddle with the melody, and improve it.
And
if it's a great lyric,
I'm of the mindset, I don't like piecemealing songs around, when, if the electric guitar player can't beat her, let's go ahead and track this and we'll send it to him. He'll do it at the studio at the house. I like having everybody in the room because sometimes things happen that have a huge impact on what that song is doing. Whether it's melodically, lyrically, things happen with that group of collective people in there that are having input into that thing. It might be a gang lick, it might be a push, it might be something that happened that creates something special that wouldn't be there without that moment.
And we could all point to 100 examples of that happening throughout our career where you go, oh, they played something wrong that triggered a thought that made it way better than it ever would have been before.
And if you're piecemealing that thing around, you lose the ability for that to happen.
See, we do the last 2 or 3 albums, my road band has played on my albums, which is something I wanted to do well before that even. But, you know, running that up the ladder, a lot of times you get shoved off the ladder. And so I just finally said, this is going to happen. And it's been great. But, you know, this is maybe artsy-fartsy or whatever, but, like, I can tell the difference in the sound of those 2 or 3 albums as opposed to, and that's not a slight towards the studio guys because they're amazing. But my guys, rather than reading off a chart, had been practicing it for 2 months or whatever. And they, not that the studio cats don't care because they do about the product, but it's just human nature. My band guys care a little bit more. And I think I can hear that in the
but if you take the time to rehearse and put that due diligence in before you go into cut a master, obviously you have the ability to tweak and make those changes along the way. The thing about session players is the efficiency and what they bring to the table in that moment. Guys that are living in that brain set all the time.
And they're incredible.
They are incredible.
I mean, and they've, golly, I wouldn't have the career I've had without so many amazing ones being huge
Some of the best in the world, man.
But we kind of record like you, to your point, like where everybody's in there together. Now, there are times where, you know, we go, man, I really wish, you know, we get the whole thing done and it's great, but we go, damn, man, I'd really love to have a fiddle right there. And then we'll send it out and get, something like that.
That's different than what I'm talking about. If there's something, or you need a little banjo feel. And there's a lot of post things, too. People don't realize, like little string and airy things.
Stuff you really don't even hear.
You send that stuff out to somebody after you get basically everything done to kind of put the mood and the ambiance and things in, the little accent. That stuff happens all the time.
The stuff you may not necessarily hear, but you feel.
Yep.
Kind of thing,
Absolutely.
if that makes any sense.
Oh, it does.
It does to you. We speak our own language as musicians.
The ear candy.
That's it, brother.
So,
brother, I'm glad we got a chance to visit.
Me too.
It's always
buddy.
good to seeing you. I'd love to do some more shows with you.
Yes.
Let's talk about that at some point.
Absolutely. I was going to say earlier when we were talking about when we met, I don't know. I think it was the first time we met was what album or when was it that you did the album where you had artists singing your tunes?
That was, what did we do, that 2015 or something like that? What was it called, Lindsay? You're so much smarter than me.
Was that 11 years ago?
It's been that long.
Was it really?
Talking about doing a collab, I think.
Yeah. What was the name of it? I just went brain dead.
I forget, but I was on it.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
And
But I think that was the first time we met.
What did we do together?
Alibis.
Yeah, we did Alibis together, and I think Luke Bryan did Sticks and Stones. Luke Combs did Front Porch. Jason Aldean did Can't Break It to My Heart. It was pretty.
Yeah,
cool
it was a cool album.
Yeah. A lot of people have done the same process. Brooks and Dunn has done it.
Yeah,
Shenandoah
yeah.
Did it. So it's kind of a lot of people started doing that. After.
But I don't give a damn about them because you're the only one that asked me to be a part of it. But no, seriously, the first time, I think that was the first time we met, and it's like, oh, meet Tracy Lawrence, one of your idols, and then go sing his classic monster hit song right in front of him. And I'm like, God dang, man, my butthole's drawn up tighter for that than it was going into rehab.
You did a great
man.
job, man.
Well, thanks,
It
buddy.
was awesome.
The
It was a
record's
blast.
called Good Old Days. by
Good
the
old
way.
days. That's
Okay,
right. Good
yeah.
old days.
No, it was a blast, and I say that to say, I would anything I can do with you for you. I'm there for you, buddy. I was listening to and watching I think it was the Jamie show y'all did.
Oh, yeah.
And Jamie's Jamie, man.
I love him, man.
He just him. I love him too. He cracks me up. But great. He's always been great to me. But he was talking about your turkey fry, and I know I've been trying to. I'm going to make that happen. So send me the date.
Tuesday, the week of Thanksgiving.
November 24.
24.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
If at all possible, I'm going to come this year.
Well, man, I'm glad that you're doing good health-wise.
Thank you, buddy.
Glad you kind of took care of some issues, man. Proud of your character. Proud
Thank
of you
you.
as a man. And
Thank you,
appreciate
brother.
and treasure your friendship, brother.
Well, likewise, man. It means a lot coming from you, TL.
Justin Moore, everybody. Peace out.